Hey everyone, it's the History Nerd, and we're back with another exciting episode of Victoria 2, USA all the way. Hi, it's been a while. Where we last left off, there was an episode with no recording, and in a fit of rage, I removed it from the channel. So let me cover what happened in that episode, between episode 1 and 3. In geopolitical news, Scandinavia has formed. It's a little bit different. I don't really remember too many other differences. I do know for the US what we've been focusing on is building up our military. And so we can see here the United States Army, the first US Corps, with, proper 2 cavalry, 4 infantry, 4 artillery. Well, 3 artillery, and 4 artillery. Don't even have any engineers yet. And the second corps, which has no guns and slightly too much infantry. That's okay, because we're going to go to war with Mexico now. Time to kick off Manifest Destiny. Nice and early, 1846. Probably should have been earlier. But still, this is step 1 in my plan for America's domination by the United States. We need to take this land from Mexico before we can be a great and powerful nation. Here's the war plan. First U.S. Corps, going to go down from Mexico City. Second is going to go and actually clear out the land that we're going to want. Then we got the U.S. Navy here that's just sitting around, kind of going to be blockading some ports from the Mexicans. Should be fun and dandy. So we got a lot of territory to take for Mexico. As you can clearly see, it's going to probably take about 2 wars. Because of the way this all works. So we can acquire a corps. We can only go to war to acquire 1 corps. We can add more as the war goes on, provided the war goes well enough for us, and it should go well enough for us. But I doubt we'll be able to get all of these, keeping within our infamy limit. We don't want to go over infamy, because there's really only one nation that would wind up going to war with us, and it's Britain. Oh, excuse me, it's Britain. I don't want to face Britain yet. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go to war on Mexico for Oklahoma. Liberia, the United States of Central America, and Colombia will all accept. So let's do that. Yeah. Of course Liberia did. I mean, they're like our puppet or whatever. Yeah, we'll send you that way. And then we'll start sending you down the... Well, maybe not down the coast. Because, we're able to blockade. Whereas if we send them... Yeah. Alright, let's do that. Kick it up to speed 2 for this war. I don't think... Like I say, I don't think the Mexicans have much in the way of military. They've got a military score of 12. So we should be able to handle whatever they have. We got all that going on, including the war between Mexico and the United States. Neither one of those nations is Canada. We can probably kick this war up to speed 3 for now, and just keep our eye on it. I have a feeling that's more naval bases opening up, which is good. Although at the moment we don't need a big fleet, so Where am I? He wakes up screaming. Upon being told he was found collapsed just a few yards north across from the Illinois border, he starts laughing. It's a calm laugh, interrupted only by the occasional cough. Illinois. I'm in Illinois. Oh, merciful Lord, I'm in Illinois. The man is a slave, escaped from some other plantation down south of Mason-Dixon. He's wounded but still alive. What perils he has suffered on his way to Peoria, and only the good Lord knows. Federal law mandates that he be returned to his owner. We just piss off the South even more. No. We gotta put off the Civil War a little bit while we gain more Mexican territory. Just keep marching those guys south. And I guess with the amount of soldiers we got kicking around too, we could probably get some artillery made for the second corps. Now, do we have... Yeah, New Orleans? Okay, perfect. So yeah, let's get some Yankee artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think is how much is here. I want to, obviously keep our cores relatively the same, so I'll wind up taking an infantry unit out of the 2nd Corps, putting it in the 3rd. We don't have to worry about that for now. Hello, buddy. My cat. Meowing away. The Ostend Manifesto proposes that the island of Cuba should be annexed. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to touch it. I do like this idea. But for the moment, there's no real point in, like, going away. I don't even think this is the right idea. Let's just get the whole state sieged down. So we're slowly working on Oklahoma there, which is nice. And then, we got to pick and choose. Like, I'd like to get, obviously, New Mexico and Colorado in on this war. But that'll still leave, what do we got here? Arizona, California, and Nevada, Utah. 6 little divisions of Mexicans up there. I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Terribly sorry for all the misreads. The dank, and no, not in the way you're thinking, locale is dimly lit and reeks of sweat and unwashed bodies. Cramped walls, littered with chains and rope, tell tales of the trade that goes on in this auction house. One by one, blacks are shoved into a small stage to stand, their hands tied, while their auctioneer calls out the bids. Here, human beings are herded like cattle to be sold into involuntary servitude, serfdom, and slavery. That is a little repulsive. So, we may have sent the guy back, but, it's still a nasty thing, selling people. Power loom, let's go. Oh, hi. No, you stop. Yeah. For all the joys that Victoria 2 brings me, fighting big wars over large borders is annoying, because we're going to have 9 units of Mexicans going around up in Oregon and Washington, while I'm focusing on all of their important lands. Thankfully, my allies are coming up in here. So we got Colombia and the United States of Central America. Those will be nice guys to have. Nice friends. Doing some good work. Let's keep going down, and we can shift into the mountains, so capturing their capital shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, the Mexican military now is they've mobilized and they're at 12 thanks to the units we've killed off. Slowly getting a military up there, but I mean a proper army force. But yeah, let's go over to diplomacy, because Oklahoma isn't enough. So what was I saying? Colorado? Okay, so we don't gain any infamy by adding this. Thank the maker. Thank God, thank Allah, thank everybody. I guess it was either me misremembering, shocker, that never happens, or an older version of Victoria. You would pick up infamy for trying to get back a core. I think. I could be wrong. Who knows? In Cooperstown, near New York, the first public baseball game took place. The New York Knickerbockers lost to the New York 9, 1-23. I feel like the Knickerbockers maybe didn't really know the game. Whereas the New York 9, they were at this time, stickball nerds. So anyway, let's see if we can spread around some of the conscription going on here, because we're already at what, 3? I mean, we can probably put it higher, but well, first off, considering the amount of army units we got kicking around there, it's not really that big of a concern, but we might as well spread this out. So we will go Ohio, soldiers, yeah, and Pennsylvania's got enough. We'll even, yeah, we'll get some Dixie soldiers, although that seems, I mean, it will make, yeah. Screw it, now we'll go Massachusetts. This is gaming the system, for sure, because in 1847, you know, President of the United States was like, no, we're not going to have Southerners serving in the U.S. Army. Southern labor. But I am, so it'll just make the Civil War easier. Not that we really need to worry about it. I have a feeling the Civil War should go quite smoothly. Who gives a hoot about their religions? Indeed. So we got the artillery coming. That'll be a nice addition to the Second Corps, and then I can pull back one of these regiments and start working on the Third Corps. Why not? Let's get into Mexico City here. Those guys are still moving around. Okay. Founded in 1833, the American Anti-Slavery Society was an organization on the forefront of the American abolitionist movement. Leave them be. Let them do their thing. So the grand goal of this campaign, it's been running for far too long now. What do we want? Probably the better artillery. I mean, at this stage, it doesn't really matter. Let's go with military plans. Organization. That should be nice. And I hinted at it, you know, before this war with Mexico started. I want all of North and South America in my sphere of influence, or, you know, like owned by me. Preferably, you know, there'll be some islands in the Caribbean, which most certainly will become American. Is that what? Scandinavia? Oh, that makes sense. It's right there. You know, I mean, we will be going to war with Spain for the Caribbean stuff, and probably, potentially, the Philippines, a la real history. During the most intense days of the slavery debate, some abolitionists organized emigration to the territories of Kansas and Nebraska in order to prevent these territories from being admitted into the Union as slave states. Let them settle. So yeah, obviously, step one, manifest destiny, take back all of America. Step two, like I say, well, step two will be the American Civil War. And then step three will be probably a puppet of Mexico. I don't want to take Mexico. Again, I'm not the type of person who enjoys playing, you know, big old strategy games to conquer the world. I prefer a quote-unquote more realistic approach, if you will. Leave it be. These guys are ready to go, so we'll get them up to El Paso. We'll pull one of these guys out, probably the 7th Regiment. Select you. We'll send you back to New Orleans. Well, those guys go up. And then we can start working towards getting the 3rd Corps built up. Well, maybe. We'll see how those soldiers come along. Well, we can definitely get started on the 3rd Corps. What do you want, Mexico? Decline. That tells me we can probably go in and add another war goal. So we got New Mexico. Proceed. Right? New Mexico, Colorado? Okay, good. So that's where the new border is going to be. But I'd like to get everything that we possibly can out of this. For obvious reasons. We're working good down here. Looks like we got some Mexican military involvement, which is not so good. We're not actually blockading anything, so we'll go into the final spot in the Yucatan Sea. No, just the artillery, please. Just go up there. So we want 4 infantry, 4 artillery, and 2 cavalry, if I remember correctly. So we've already got 1 infantry, so we can go 1, 2, 3. And then there's our artillery. So let's get that going. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Leave the Anti-Slavery Society be. Copperheads, debate them at every opportunity, leave the anti-slavery society be. I'm definitely showing my bias quite clearly here. It should come as no surprise to anybody fighting this war. Actually, let's go into Oaxaca there. What do we got going on here? Good. Now, obviously, we're going to have to do something about this little army here that's, captured Oregon for Mexico, but we'll worry about that at a later date. For now, I'd like to concentrate on securing the southern border so that my little AI allies here can conquer as much of Mexican territory as they want without us having to worry about things. Oh my god, okay. I will be back when I figure out what the hell's wrong with my cat. Alright, hopefully that took care of everything. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Right, so let's move up into Colorado, where I have a feeling the Second Corps is going to run into the Mexican First Army. In fact, let's hold off on capturing any Mexican land when we take on the Fourth Army and help out our southern allies here. As we can see, thanks to our artillery, sure, they've got far more infantry than we do, but that don't really matter when you can hit them from a distance. Yay, artillery. So let's let's just go over here. We'll leave this for the southern friends to deal with. Let's see if we can... Well, we should probably capture Colorado. Send some to Bremen. Sure, why not? That sounds good. And let's get some, what kind of cavalry are we using? Just to keep things consistent, dragoons and dragoons. Are they actually reconnaissance 154? Yeah, they are better, so let's get some dragoons going. There we go. Third Corps ready to go. Lovely. And then, man, these guys took some losses. That's okay. We'll get them fitted right back up. Alright, muzzle-loaded rifles. That'll be a good thing for the army to have, instead of the old flintlocks we were using, apparently. So yeah, it looks like the South here is in good hands. So, yeah, let's just go up here and bring that army back up to support. Actually, let's just go straight in there. It looks like that's going to take... I'd rather not lose that. And while we're here, can we add another war roll? Okay, so what one do we want next? Probably Arizona? Maybe Nevada, Utah, one of those two? We'll go Arizona. Let's see how many colonies we can take back, huh? I'm hoping we can do it all in one fell swoop, but I'm fairly confident we're going to need to do this in 2 wars. All of those Mexican lands are captured, so there's no point in blockading anything there. Without the Panama Canal opened, I mean, suppress. Without the Panama Canal opened, it's going to take forever and a day to sail the halfway around the world to get to the Pacific side. Because we got no Navy out here. Yeah, I have a feeling the U.S. Navy can just, go home. So, Norfolk, there you go. Lovely. We got the third course slowly moving in. Oh, are you kidding me? Come on. Our nation is one of the most prestigious great powers on earth. From Washington to far-flung provinces beyond, our flag flutters proudly in the winds, striking fear into the hearts of anyone who dare oppose us. In celebration of our dominance and just reign, an imperial parade is being planned in Washington. The question that now poses itself is, should we invite foreign dignitaries to this joyous occasion, or shall we simply conclude that there are no other nation is fit to bask with us? All must see our splendor, damn it. I don't know why we wouldn't. Bring more people in to enjoy what it is we're showing off to the world. The Mexican army is melting, which is nice. All infantry, I imagine those are just reserve units. A bishop and later Archbishop of New York from 1842 to 64, Hughes would work tirelessly to integrate Roman Catholics, particularly newly arrived immigrant Catholics, into the fabric of American society, while at the same time ensuring that the institutions and assets of the Catholic Church remained firmly under the control of the Catholic hierarchy. An extraordinary man indeed. We took care of that Mexican army, and that's going to be retreating north, eh? Okay, well, we'll follow you. It's an interesting choice. But we'll happily wipe them out. Still just the Ostend Manifesto, that's fine. We got about a month until our Dragoons are ready. Battle of Santa Fe is done. Good, so you can go up and snag yourself all of Colorado. You can continue going along the border. The future to-be border of Mexico and the United States. Dred Scott, having been a slave, remains a slave. Dred Scott versus Sanford. Dred Scott, born a slave in Virginia, was, with the help of abolitionist legal advisors, sued his owner, claiming that his present residency in a free state requires his emancipation. The United States Supreme Court has ruled that it is, in fact, not the case, and effectively that the property rights of slave owners are protected regardless of where in the Union the slave resides. The case has caused enormous alarm among Northern abolitionists who see it as a first step to a full extension of the institution of slavery to the whole Union. It is slightly worrying news. I wouldn't be that concerned. We'll get rid of slavery as soon as we can. Of course. Let's head up there. The Copperheads, we will debate them. Ooh, we got some decisions. Let's see. What do we want to do? Well, we're going to probably keep Jefferson method for as long as we can. 2 per state. I think what we'll do is do secret ballots. Should bring some immigrant attraction in without changing things too much. Not really that the U.S. has to worry about attracting immigrants. We should have no problem pulling that in. You can see Mexico no longer has an army, so we're basically just, set conquering everything now. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. But it is nice that we can right-click on a nation to interact diplomatically with them. So we have Arizona. Let's get Nevada, Utah in there as well. And then we just need to snag California as well. And hopefully we can have all of, proper America, if you will, in one war. That'll be nice. It is therefore the solemn duty of any American citizen to, in this her darkest hour, support her country with whatever means possible, with any means at his disposal, with any means necessary. One of the nation's wide publications that exists in our country has published an opinion editorial in support of our government's jingoistic policies. This is, of course, excellent news. And the question is how we should leverage the publication to gain maximum benefit from it. I think we'll fan the flames of public opinion. I like the idea of a jingoistic United States, although it is kind of not really what's going on at this stage. Oh my god. Let's type. There we go. Nathaniel Griffin with a horrible morale. You know what? Let's instead put Alexander Makeup in here. He's a hero? Yeah, whatever. We'll lose a little less, tiny amounts of prestige. But my god, we will gain a much better commander. So let's send him over here into Tucson. And we can have the first corps continue conquering Mexican territory. We can have the second and third go for, you know, my territory. There's the news. All the news that's fit to print. Let's go into Nogales. Secure that little bit of the border. You're marching. You're marching. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We have a pretty decent military force as well, built up here, which is good. Let's just send you here because I have a feeling we'll be fighting that unit wherever he goes. Might as well snag strategic mobility as well. We don't really need to worry about building fortresses. The only border I would consider building fortresses on is the border with the Brits to the north. I mean, we will wind up fighting them eventually, but fortifying the United States-Canadian border is ridiculously expensive. So we'll see if we even have to do that in the future. I would hope not. But I mean, eventually, at some point, we will be, obviously, fighting the Brits. But that's going to be kind of, you know, end of the line. Let's go down this way. End of the line material later on, once we've got a good power base built up in the Americas, to Southern labor. And can we get one more add war goal of California? Proceed. So we got all of our land there. Which is good. Well, let's do that. Oh, where are you going? El Paso. Okay, well then we'll take Chihuahua. Because El Paso's not going to fall to one regiment of infantry all that quickly. We should be able to snag Chihuahua. He's not even going to El Paso. Is he staying? No. Where are you going? Oh, we had a battle in Chihuahua. Well, serves you. Nope, you're continually going north. Okay, that's fine. We'll continue this way. We got some more units coming. I imagine they're gonna go set themselves up someplace ridiculously far away to try and get everybody together. We got a wartime election running right now. That's good news. Let's move into Vegas. Let's see. What do we got going on here? What do people want now that I've got secret ballots? Universal voting. Okay. Sure. We'll do that. It's potentially a little bit early for the United States to become a universal voting franchise location, but you know what? I'm okay with that. It's time for every male American's vote to count. An extensive tract describing the purported unconstitutionality of slavery is being widely disseminated in Baltimore. Blah, blah, blah. Shall we try and curtail the distribution? Nah, we'll leave it. I mean, it's kind of preaching to the choir. I would imagine most people in Baltimore are already anti-slavery, so, you know, what are you going to do? Man, we got... Despite being at war, we're in a great financial situation. Looks like we're losing some soldiers here, which is a bit of concern, although I guess people are dying on the fronts, so debate them at every opportunity. Let's start moving into California. Let's go hit Salt Lake. Okay, so you're going to give us Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada, Utah. Not quite what we're looking for. We need that last bit of Carolina, please. Religion has become an issue in the upcoming electoral debates, I should say, as a local religious leader in the U.S. protests the freedom of religious conversion, arguing that the size of his flock is diminishing and that this change is fundamentally harmful to the American moral fabric. We can't do anything about that, man. If your people are leaving your flock, that is more to do with what's going on with you than setting up laws to make people religious. Leave the Underground Railroad be. Go hit that Mexican army. Nice. So it looks like the army that was sitting here has escaped into Albuquerque. I'm hoping we can hit this guy. Quickly, nope. Well, we'll just continue going. That's all. Yeah, okay, good. Almost got San Diego. Let's go for Los Angeles next. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, definitely laissez-faire. Sure, state capitalism is incredibly useful because it allows you to let the economy run on its own, but also, you know, build up industry yourself. But I don't think that fits. Certainly not the America we've got right now. Debate them. And Mariposa. Are you going to give us California now? Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada, Utah. We don't care about that. Thank you. We're not getting involved in European politics. There is no reason for that. No, no, go. Debate them. Laissez-faire. Should hit them relatively quickly. And then we'll use the third corps to secure California, while we use the second corps up here to liberate Oregon. Monterey. And then that should be that. Fears of Hanover, that's fine. Yay, liberal and anarcho-liberal parties got a nice little, what's it called? So we got protectionism, which is a bit weird, laissez-faire, pluralism, full citizenship, and anti-military. And most people agree with the laissez-faire bit, although it looks like we are fairly pro-military. Which, I mean, considering the success we're achieving in Mexico here, isn't a surprise. And in fact, our southern allies here should be able to handle whatever minor military opposition the Mexicans can throw up. Leave the Underground Railroad be. And very shortly, we should have... We're losing money now, but thankfully we've got a nice little bit built up. Into Baker City. Come on, take Sacramento. Or not Sacramento. San Francisco. Don't shut that down. Lovely. Did they? Okay, no. So it's just Oregon that they've captured. Good. What do you got, Empire over Mexico? Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada. Not quite yet, but it's interesting that you guys are an empire now. All the more reason to attack and make you a puppet later. Nay. finally in there to regain all of our lost territory. Regain lost territory. To, you know, kick the invaders out. Never really lost Oregon. Still a lovely, loyal colony, right? Yeah, colony. Well, that'll change eventually, won't it? So we'll have that nicely done. Colombia. Okay, I was looking at that. I'm like, what? Can't be cored by anyone other than me, but yeah, Colombia, that makes sense. Let's take the Second Corps and move them over here into San Antonio. And then with California completely taken, I'm so mad right now. We won't ever get more than 100 war score. And so we're stuck. Oh, that's so frustrating. So, like, this game sometimes. Okay, so if we don't take Arizona, if we leave Arizona in Mexican hands, we can have everything else. And then we'll just have to go to war for Arizona and maybe a puppet later. Okay. Propose peace. Because I'd rather get California, you know, than... Yeah. Okay. Proceed. Okay. What do we got here? California, do not extend slavery. Nevada, Utah, do not. New Mexico. Okay, so let's see. Colorado. That's Kansas. Colorado. You've got a free state in Nebraska, in Kansas, and in Wyoming, but you do border Oklahoma, which is also a free state. Okay. Don't extend. New Mexico. Don't extend. There we go. Texas will be the final slavery line there. Okay. Let's pull everybody back. So we got the Second Corps going there. Lovely. We'll take the Third Corps and put them, I don't know, Denver. And then we'll take the First Corps and pull them back to Augusta. That's a bit far, but fine. We'll do that. Okay. Well, I'm a little ticked with the way the war scores all worked out there. But what are you going to do? The Trail of Tears is the English rendition of the Cherokee name for the forced relocation of the Greater Cherokee Nation from its homelands, the southeastern United States, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, etc., to the newly established Indian territories in Oklahoma. By the Indian Removal Act of 1830, enacting this decision lies within our prerogative. I mean, I don't necessarily... We'll do it. It's kind of a dick move. But whatever. We'll take care of it. We're losing money. We got some factories that are closed down, but that's fine. We can get those guys working. What is this? A couple of transports, our main military fleet. Okay. We're going to get strategic mobility done here. Not that we necessarily need it. Like I say, I don't think we have to fortify the Mexican-American border. But, okay. The English are going for India, which makes a heck of a lot of sense. We go take a look at the world map here. You know, it may, like, yeah. We're not going to be touching that. Our glory is in this side of the world. The balance of power between free staters and border ruffians in the territories has repercussions for the entire Union. To advance the abolitionist cause, an immigrant aid company has opened in New York to help bring in abolitionist free staters to settle in the territories. We can expect a heavy increase in free stater settlement in the future. Lovely. Although I don't know how many, by the time we're actually able to go for Arizona, you know, things are going to be a bit different. 1850, so we would probably want... What does that come in? 1860? We're no longer at war, so the improved artillery isn't necessarily a high priority. We don't really need to worry about our navy at the moment. So getting some kind of, like, you know, commerce or cultural tech built up would probably be a good idea. I am leaning towards industry just because, you know, these three here are still 1836 techs and it's 1850. So are all of these. Ideological thought, that's always good. I think at this stage, high and low pressure steam engines, interchangeable parts, and cheap iron is all going to be what we want to look at. So let's get some new engines going on, and then we got some more of this stuff going on. I don't know. We're going to leave it. Like, most people are laissez-faire, pluralism, outlaw slavery, pro-military, jingoism, free trade, secularized moralism, full citizenship, interventionism, anti-military. Like, by the time we get into proportional representation, you know, 0.2% of the voters and the people are like, hey, that's a good idea. 0.2. 0.2. Never mind the amount of the population that supports an upper house based on population. So we're just going to leave that stuff for now. I think that makes the most sense. And I think with a successful war, relatively successful war with the Mexicans, actually, while I'm thinking about this, let's leave you here, right? Yeah. And then let's get the freaking infrastructure built up here. So we're going to need a naval base here, and then I think San Francisco makes the most sense. Oh, but you're already building a fucking railroad there? Come on, guys. Oh, no, we don't have the... What? We already have... Why is it in UG or Eureka? I mean, not that it makes that big of a difference, but that's not where I would have put the port. Anyway, we got it in Eureka, so, you know, that's the thing. Okay, yeah, well, with the successful... Actually, we can leave you... We'll leave you in New Orleans. With the successful war for Mexico, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. So let's give her a good old-fashioned save, the USA. Save her up. And that's going to do it for today's episode. Excuse me as a stretch. Thumbs up if you have enjoyed today's episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.